Nintendo Directs are, well, always, frankly, a fun time for everyone, it feels like. There's the initial time beforehand that they're announced where all us fans are practically foaming at the mouth and wetting our pants wanting to know when the next Direct is going to be. Then there's the announcement that one's going to be coming up in the following days. Then we have the inevitable hype period where every single time, without fail, someone tries to officially leak a new F-Zero when somehow I think, well, maybe this is the time we're going to see Mother 3.
Jacob, that's never happening.
Thanks, Despair. It's always good to see you. And finally, the day arrives, the Direct. It's happening live in just a few short hours. And this is usually when the extremists conjure up some final unrealistic expectations like Nintendo is already working on a 4K Switch for holiday 2017, or they're giving out free blowjobs if you trade in your Wii U for a Switch Pro controller. And then we all see it. And it's probably weird and quirky and not at all what we expected, but hey, most fans seem relatively fine with it, and some are going to be disappointed and some are pleasantly surprised. And then there's the people who go into a state of anger and depression, then take to social media and complain to Nintendo for ruining their lives because they didn't get the onslaught of video game announcements they were so desperately waiting for. Now, I'm usually one of the rational people kind of just floating somewhere in the middle of the pond because I try to keep my expectations in check instead of dangling them on a thin thread for Nintendo to snap and shatter my dreams with. Because that's not what these Directs are meant for. Nintendo Directs are not these giant trouser snake measuring video game contests like E3 or the Tokyo Game Show. They're not built for that. What they are smaller, more self-contained videos that are shot and rendered beforehand to show off some of the latest games coming to Nintendo systems. They tend to devote time to smaller projects like download-only titles or indie games that just may not get the huge spotlight that is traditionally present at a video game show. If anything, we may get one, count 'em, one big game announcement, but that's usually it. And you know what? That's totally fine. Because aside from 2016's hilarious display of just The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo usually has some big hitters for E3, or at least what they think are big hitters. Now sure, in the past, Nintendo has had some Directs that are arguably better than others, and I for one don't think that the one that just happened this April was really anything to tear up over. But did I go apeshit on social media? No. Because that's not what you should be doing. Hell, we should just be happy that Nintendo does these at all, and I personally think it's nice having a decent little helping of video game news instead of what's reported on video game journalist sites. Nintendo just does these as a service to the fans, and let's face it, they also use these as a marketing tactic to stay in the eyesights of gamers throughout the year, and it works. News sites all over the internet gear up for this every time. It's like an event. We all snuggle up for the live stream in our jammies and popcorn and sit back and bitch at, where the hell is Mother 3? Or Nintendo could just not do it and we could get our little sprinkling of news throughout the year through traditional news outlets, which is fine and all, the other systems do it, but as we all know, Nintendo is different and like to do weird things, sometimes to their own dismay. And sometimes ours. Now usually I feel like I have more of a point to make with these videos, but I just felt like getting on here and voicing my opinion on this because I am just so tired of every time there's a Nintendo Direct out there, there is just these crazed, unrealistic, ridiculous, asinine expectations that are placed upon Nintendo, and they seem to disappoint or piss people off every single time, and it's just getting out of hand. You know, they do stupid things every now and then. I totally understand and agree with people on that. But at the same time, they don't need to do these. They don't necessarily make a killing off the production of these to really keep this going, but I genuinely feel that they do this as both a service to everyone and to advertise stuff. Because how often do we actually directly get news from the source? I mean, this is coming directly from the camel's mouth. We don't hardly ever get that from other gaming companies. I mean, sometimes, yes, we do, but most of the time, we don't. Do I wish that every time they announced like a new 3D Mario game and a new Zelda and a new Metroid and a new Star Fox and a new F-Zero and a new Mother game and a new Animal Crossing and a new 1080 snowboarding or a new Wave Race or a new Diddy Kong Racing or a new Mario Kart, or I understand the flow of this was just more like rant instead of presenting a clear vision and really driving it home right into the garage. But if you like this slop and thought it was interesting, well, please, why don't you just go ahead and leave a like, maybe subscribe, donate some money if you can, share my videos with all your friends and your family, show me to your mom, please, come to my house and watch me sleep at night, and have a great day.